Hello everyone, this is Group 15 and we are going to exhibit Go Eco travel application.
Hi, my name is Tanmay, and we will be discussing the overview of our app and also what data we found out, secondary data we found out, and how we implemented and how we are doing this thing. So, going through the overview, imagine an app designed specifically for students, solving the biggest travel headaches in one place. The real-time updates like CO2 tracking, gamification, and rewards and a fully transport integration like bus, trains, bikes, even ride sharing, all in one easy to use app. This isn't just any another travel app. It's about accessibility, sustainability, and actually making student travel more smoother and faster. Why do we believe this solution will work? Because research supports it. The Paul Rivers found that the real-time CO2 tracking influenced travel behavior, where an Augusto Paulus showed that the gamification encouraged sustainability choices. The DICE can provide that the real-time transport data improves the reliability and the user satisfaction. Where the students, where the study says that it confirm that real-time updates, sustainability insights, and engagement strategies can positively shape and student travel habits. Turning to the next slide, the problem identification. Student faces three key travel challenges: fragmented transport information, lack of sustainability features, and some missing key features like no CO2 tracking, no gamification, and unreliable updates make sustainable travel inconvenient. Turning to the Pestle and the Porter's files, we found that political factors such as the Scottish government prioritizes sustainability in the city transport, where economic factors such as the cost of living crisis impacts the students with 20% missing classes due to travel cost. The social factors tells us 70% of Gen Z sees the climate change as a major threat and wants sustainable travel options. The technological factors tells us there is a potential for a better app accessibility and integration. Where the legal factors tells us data privacy laws means consent is required for mobile apps to share location data. The environmental factors tells us cars makes us 40% of transport emissions, where making sustainable travel more crucial. The Porter's Fives tells us about the market competition, where we see a few key forces at a play. Threats of new entrants. Anyone can develop an app, but no app fully integrates transport options. The bargaining power of a suppliers tells us the public APIs exist, meaning we don't rely on a single provider. Bargaining powers of buyers tells us students have many choices like Google Maps, City Mapper, but none focuses on a sustainability plus incentives. The threats of substitutes tells us too many generic travel app exist. Our solution must stand out with a unique value proposition. The competitor rivalry tells us the market is crowded, but student-focused sustainability apps are rare in the UK. Moving toward the SWOT analysis.
From the secondary analysis and market analysis, a SWOT was developed. Key features identified through the SWOT were the strength in such an app. The strength stems from combining all desired features into one application. However, weaknesses were also identified in regard to the niche nature of sustainability within transport and the need for such a focus. Although there were numerous opportunities, such as the heavy reliance of consumption of technology and social media, which were advantages when promoting the app. Lastly, the threats eliminated were in the form of economic downturn, creating the cost of living crisis, which placed a financial constraint on university students in particular. For the methodology, both qualitative and quantitative data were assessed, thereby utilising a mixed methods approach. The study utilised convenient sampling to gain participants. There were 10 participants who partook in semi-structured interviews and 55 participants who partook in the survey. Firstly, semi-structured interviews were used as they offer both flexibility and structure, enabling us as researchers to research key topics while allowing participants to speak in depth with little restrictions. The topic on the left side of the table were used to predetermine certain questions while still granting flexibility throughout each interview. Upon analysing the results from semi-structured interviews, two hypotheses were formed. The survey conducted was based upon Rivers 2019 survey with slight modifications to make it applicable to the current study. Overall, there were 18 questions which were then analysed via the use of SPSS software. A t-test analysis was conducted to determine statistical significance. From the semi-structured interviews, a thematic analysis was conducted. The aim of the thematic analysis was to explore students' needs for an app focused on transport with an emphasis on sustainability. Through using thematic analysis, we were able to identify 4 key themes and sub-themes within the transcripts, which granted a further understanding into students' experiences, opinions, and behaviours. One prominent theme, transportation challenges, has 2 sub-themes, time constraints and financial stress. This was evidenced through the several quotes highlighted above. Participants in numerous interviews emphasised the unpredictability through cancellations and unclear locations, which highlighted the importance of having live updates and alternative transport solutions. Another key theme was motivators to public transport. The sub-themes highlighted the benefits such as compiling it all into one app, sustainability, and app features. Sustainability as a motivator was emphasised through a quote stating that I prefer walking and using public transport to avoid contributing to carbon emissions. This, as well as participants voicing desire to see data on their carbon emission savings, acts as another motivator for those utilising transport to attend university. Furthermore, technological factors were another key theme throughout interviews. This was supported by 2 sub-themes, and cohesive apps and all-in-one app desire. This was evidenced in several interviews when participants spoke upon tiring apps due to the volume required when finding out how to reach a destination. Whereas when discussing the all-in-one feature, participants used positive wording, including amazing and love, to emphasise their desire for such an app. The last key theme was app add-ons, which has numerous sub-themes within. Real-time updates, CO2 monitors, incentives, and simplification of routes were all features illuminated by participants. Overall, the thematic analysis suggests that there is a gap within the market for a transport app designed for university students commuting to and from campus. The analysis highlighted that simplified transport and being able to see sustainable options, as well as the impact of choosing these options, holds value to students.
Derived from the thematic analysis and quotes taken from the respondent, we established our 2 hypotheses as follows. Hypothesis 1 posits that students are more inclined to embrace sustainable travel practice when digital travel application includes CO2 tracking, gamification, affordable transport options, and real-time updates. Moreover, research indicates that gamification might enhance sustainable behavior by 35 to 40%. Hypothesis 2 posits that cost is the primary obstacle preventing students from selecting sustainable alternative. Also, transportation expenses constitute around 20% of students' educational expenditures. We assume that tackling this critical aspect via innovative application and cost-effective solutions can provide more sustainable travel habits among students. These are the key findings from our quantitative research to justify our first hypothesis. We used crosstab and chi-square test to discover app interest and its relationship with various features. We observed a statistically significant relationship between CO2 tracking and app interest, with a p-value of 0.31 in chi-square. This indicates that CO2 tracking plays a crucial role in attracting users to the app. Although gamification shows some positive trends, the p-value of 0.082, which is higher than 0.05, indicates that relationship is not statistically significant. Student discount also had a significant relationship with app interest, as evidenced by the p-value of 0.015 that is positively. This demonstrates the importance of affordability for students. Finally, real-time updates show a negative significant relationship with app interest, with p-value of 0.252. As the data shown above, CO2 tracking and student discounts are the most influential factors in driving app interest, while gamification and real-time updates appear less critical. These slides present the principal findings for our quantitative analysis aimed at identifying the primary obstacle that deters students from considering sustainable travel application. For the cost perception, more than half of the participants regarded that their weekly transport costs are reasonable and acceptable. 34.62% of students agree and 23.08% strongly agree, respectively. To find out the relationship between cost, satisfaction, and features that prevent students from using sustainable app, we also use crosstab and chi-square to figure out their relationship. From the cost aspect, analysis shows that cost is not a significant barrier to choosing a sustainable app, with a p-value of 0.011. However, lack of convenience was identified as a significant barrier with a p-value of 0.017. Furthermore, unreliable transfer schedules is another major barrier with a p-value of 0.037, also less than 0.05 and considered as a positively significant. Lastly, both lack of awareness and no major incentive to switch were found to be insignificant, with p-value of 0.0625 and 0.464 respectively. While cost is not the main primary concern, addressing convenience and reliability issue will be crucial to encourage students to adopt sustainable travel app.
Next slide, app features. We study student needs and use statistical data to develop 4 key features for Go Eco. First, CO2 tracking and sustainability insights. Many students want to understand their environmental impact. With a significant relationship to app interest, we created a live CO2 tracker and monthly sustainability reports. Second, student discounts and budget optimization. As cost is a major concern and linked to an app interest, our app compares the cheapest routes and highlights student discounts. We also plan to expand transport partnerships to improve these benefits. Third, gamification and rewards. Although not statistically significant, we combine it with real-life rewards and strict system to encourage green behavior. Lastly, real-time notifications. While not strongly linked to interest, it helps users plan their trips more efficiently, so we included it as a support feature. Next slide is implementation and mockup. This mockup shows how Go Eco combines usability with sustainability. The home screen welcomes users into the eco journey. On the route planner, students can compare transport modes, time, cost, and CO2 save with buttons such as Smart Route, Check CO2, and Best Price. We plan to add a real-time CO2 tracker and a progress bar showing user CO2 savings, including a comparison with others to boost motivation. Student discount routes are clearly labeled with prices shown before and after discount. And to make it engaging, we'll add a streak tracker. For example, travel green 3 days, 2 more to earn a free coffee. Finally, real-time delay alerts will suggest alternatives if a bus is late, ensuring smooth travel for students. And the next slide is future recommendations. To strengthen Go Eco impact, we propose 5 future actions. First, partnership with transport providers such as ScotRail and First Bus should be expanded since student discounts are linked to app interest. Second, focus on tangible rewards. Even if gamification is a strong factor, real benefits like black sheep or great coffee discounts can boost motivation. Third, Go Eco should be integrated into university platforms to improve accessibility and adoption. Fourth, use AI to deliver personalized route suggestions based on travel habits, supported by the link between CO2 tracking and app interest. And finally, run pilot testing as that cry to gather feedback and continuously refine the app for real student needs. And the next slide is the final slide for conclusion.
Conclusion. Sustainability matters to students, but cost and convenience are the primary travel for the decision driven. CO2 tracking boosts the app interest. Student discount significantly drives the adoption. Gamification is not effective alone, but in the real world, rewards and example discounts can be enhanced through engagement. Real-time updates are useful, but major adoption are factors. Strategic implementation, prioritize affordability, which expands student transport discount through partnerships, enhance the sustainability transparency, which strengthens the CO2 tracking and reporting, shift from gamification to tangible incentives, offer a real-world rewards discounts at a popular student spots. Pilot testing is a key, gather which gathers the users' feedback and refines the app features and ensures the strong adoption. Thank you.